Today's the day. Something slightly different today. Usually my content is focused around adventure, fitness, lifestyle kind of things, but today I've gone slightly tangential and talking about my new hairstyle, or lack of hair should I say. If you guys are tuning in to see more about adventure, then feel free to watch this or skip it, or check out some of my previous content that will give you a little bit more of a flavour about what I'm about. Where I am based in Nottingham, we have gone back down into a tier 2 lockdown. Now this is probably similar to a lot of people in the UK at the minute, not going out so much, limitations around what you can do socially, not mixing with other houses. And I think for many people across the world, lockdown was a catalyst for people to have a go at doing their own hair, especially us chaps and women, maybe get the clippers out, giving the old buzz cut a go. I think culturally, shaving your head can be quite menacing, but it has got a lot of deep roots in a transitional period, and that's what I definitely feel that this time is. We can deem shaving your head as more empowering, especially if a woman chooses to do it. We're like, flipping it, that's awesome because it's out of the norm, but I think it is sort of an empowering look. And potentially in other cultures it's deemed as a rite of passage, whether you are joining a monastery as a monk, or maybe you are doing sort of national service within armed forces, then the clippers come out and it is very much like stripping away all the superfluous stuff within our lives. And that's definitely how I feel about my hair. I was spending a lot of time thinking about what's going on with my hair. I'm quite an adventurous guy, so I like to be able to grab a shower or jump in the water or do things and not have to worry about what my hair is doing. So especially during lockdown, I think it's a time where people have looked to control what they can control without getting too worried about things external to their immediate environment. And most of us have a set of clippers lying around the house, maybe a beard trimmer, so we've got access to something like this where we can just give it a go. For me, I was getting fed up with my hairstyle. I'm a personal trainer by trade, but I also value being able to go outside and be active. So I don't really want to be worrying about my hair, and a lot of time I just put a hat on anyway. I often favour a beanie hat or a bobble hat just because I like the way it looks on my head. So personal preference. I would often find myself in scenarios where I could jump in the water, or maybe I'll be at the seaside, and I would much rather value that experience than worrying about my hair. So sometimes I would find that I would get out of the water and I'd have like a weird parting, or where I am sort of losing my hair, it would make it look really, really weird and potentially worse than it was. But I was definitely sort of conscious of that. I would emerge out of the water and be busy faffing with it, and I don't want to be messing or having to worry about that. I believe that everyone should shave their head at one point in their life. The amount of people I speak to who go, oh, I wish I could shave my head. Well, ultimately, I don't know what is stopping people. A lot of people wonder what their head actually looks like, and until you shave it off, you don't know. I've seen some silly apps where you can make yourself bald, boulderize. Is that even a word? Make yourself bald on the app, and even that doesn't really give you a clear idea what is hiding beneath those precious locks. I think if you're in a job where people are quite open, I think that's great. I understand that a lot of people have a personal identity attached to their hair. Maybe they're quite precious about that. And with the beauty industry or men's grooming, booming industry around that, where people are going and choosing a good barber or going off to a good hairstylist and getting their hair done, and it's a time for them in their week or their month where they can feel pampered, and that is a special thing. I don't think we should necessarily look down upon that, because maybe you're busy in life and that's the only couple of hours in your life where you can just be present, work on yourself, and have someone attending to you. And it's a craft at the end of the day. I think, me personally, I've been to good barbers, I've been to less good barbers, but I like the capacity to be able to just whip the clippers out and sort my own hair out. I don't like to have to make a booking. I don't like to have to go and park in town. I don't like having to wait. I like the personal sovereignty or the personal power that brings, that I can just go do my hair in the bathroom or even outside, buzz it off, and it's sorted. I was finding that I was having a lot of thoughts per day about my hair, and personally I've got some goals that I want to attend to before the end of the year, and those goals require me to focus a lot of my attention on where I want to be, where I want to go. And I was finding that sort of that mental capacity was taken up by worrying about what my hair was doing, ultimately focusing my ideas and energy around something more constructive rather than something potentially more narcissistic. The other thing for me is I am thinning a bit, and especially my sides are a lot thicker than the top. I'll stick some footage in of what this actually looks like after about a week's growth, and you can sort of definitely see that there is sort of a diffusing going through this centre part. And I never wanted to look like I was fighting hair loss. I don't want to be one of those people who is rocking the comb over. Fair play to them, but that's not what I want to portray. I want to empower myself, shave it off, buzz it off. But ultimately, hair grows back, right? I don't need to worry. If you're thinking about doing it, I'd say go for it, because even if I was to grow this back, it's not going to take forever. Some people may argue that I had quite a few years left, and actually I do have a lot of hair on my head, and growing up my hair was so thick. I think that's what makes it more revealing for me potentially, that actually this hair down the centre, if you've got relatively thin hair naturally, I think this hair on the top actually sort of mimics that. But it's that these sides are so strong that it makes this look even worse. This is a 0, or probably, can you do less than a 0? I've just got the beard trimmers to finish this off, because I find that a 0 guard on my clippers wasn't quite enough. Is this permanent? I don't know. Don't like to cling to any idea too tightly, and ultimately you could go the opposite way. You could be so identified with being a shaved head, skinhead, or having this bald look that you're actually become a slave to that idea. So I don't want to get too aligned with one idea and not be able to deviate from that. We must always keep an open mind with a lot of things. All I know is that it works for me for now. Judging by a lot of the other male members of my family, then balding is inevitable for me, and I'm more than happy to come to terms with that. That does not worry me in the slightest. I know some people are quite fearful of that. So if you are thinking of shaving your head, I encourage you, just do it. Ultimately, hair will grow back. You've still got your face, you've still got your personality, and you've still got your thoughts. Those are the main things that I'm trying to cultivate. I'm trying to cultivate an aesthetic mind, not just what this meat suit is doing. Let me know in the comments if that is something you are thinking about. If you need any encouragement, I'm here for you, and I will tell you, flipping do it. Do not worry about what other people think. Do not get too concerned about your hair. If you want to try something new, maybe you want to dye it purple, maybe you want to just do an undercut, maybe these are some ideas that you've got in your head, And I would encourage you, it's better to try something and not like it than not to try it at all through fear of what other people might think. In the future, I'll be going back to more adventure videos and training videos. But if you like this sort of comment, or if you're new to this channel, please consider giving this a like or even subscribing for future videos. Shave your head and peace.